Good news, everybody. It's been 1 year since we got this truck. So today we're gonna go take it out in the woods, maybe get it a little dirty and do a review so you can see what it's like to have a 2020 F-150. All right, let's get out of the big city here and head down, see what we can get into. All right, we made it out here, out of the city life, out where trucks belong, out in the woods. It's hunting season, bear season out here, so hopefully we don't get shot or see any bears. Not fixing to do that today. So we'll go over this 1 year review of the 2020 F-150. I got it in September of last year. Had it literally about a year. I think we got a couple days left and it'll be 1 whole year. And just want to share with you guys what I think of it. Again, this is a 2020 F-150 XLT. It has the biggest motor that Ford offers for this. It's a 5.1 liter V8, or sorry, 5.0 liter V8. And it definitely gets the job done. It's got lots of power. This one's got the 9,000 pound towing capacity. Forget what the tongue weight is, or tongue weight max is. I've towed a couple trailers with it. It's done pretty well, much better than my Tundra did years ago. It's highway driving, super comfortable. We've taken it to Florida and back. It did amazing. I've been, a couple trips pretty far away. We went to Maine, so there's a 6-hour drive there. And it's comfortable to drive. You definitely are not uncomfortable. The seats do pretty well. Not the most luxurious, but it's definitely capable. As for gas mileage, it does actually pretty well. It does better than my Sorento did, which is surprising. I think on the trips that we take it on the highway, it's sitting in the low 20s. I take it to work and back, which is about 12 miles, and it doesn't get amazing gas mileage, but I could still drive a couple weeks off one tank, that's for sure, if I was just going to work. But I do kind of a mix of both, so it's tough to tell exactly what the mileage is. But in all, it does pretty well. As for off-road, I have not really taken it very far. We're in Vermont. This area of Vermont doesn't really have much for off-road ability or areas. This is about the best you're gonna get within a couple hours of here, unless you got private property. But I just took it up this little hill here, did pretty well. The ground clearance on the front, this front lip, makes it a little hard to get in areas where you need that clearance, but I didn't really get this truck for that kind of stuff, and it's a 150 stock, so it's not really made for that anyways. But of course you could do a whole bunch of modifications and make it that way pretty easily, fairly cheap I'm sure. But I got it more for the towing, the space inside with the full 4 doors like that, plenty of room for everybody that we need, and all the junk I seem to collect in the back of it. So the stock tires are junk. Maybe if I decide to keep this another year, I'll get some good ones this winter, but I just throw it in 4-wheel drive, it does just fine. Got through everything I needed to. As long as I can get to work and get to my kids, that's all that matters. Before we go to the inside, I'm going to just go over a couple things that we added, or that I added on, with the help of my assistant once in a while. She does love to help. Sometimes takes some convincing, but she does love to help. It's too funny. All right, first, side steps. Put those on pretty much as soon as we got it. You can't really tell here, but when this thing's sitting flat without those side steps, it was really hard for non-6-foot people to get in. So we threw those on pretty easy. 3 different brackets went on. Probably gonna have to get new ones if I keep this another year, because I noticed those brackets are starting to rust a little bit. Probably have to put some sort of a rust inhibitant spray on them or something. But it is what it is. They last, they're still holding up, so we're good. Then we got the mud flaps. Threw those on. We took the dealership ones off. I can't stand having dealership names all over my vehicles. I get they want advertisement, but yeah, I can't stand it. So we changed those out and we put some on the front. And you see the ones on the front. Didn't have ones on the front, and it would spit up the rocks up onto the side. And a lot of the scratches I have on the side is from that. Not very impressed. Then we got our second tonneau cover. As you know, the first one was a roll-up, and then we got the tri-fold. That's this one that we got on here now. Folds 3 different places. You can see the video here, the info card on putting that in. Pretty easy. Highly recommend having one. And the car wash we went to on the way here, you can see that it is lasted, so it must be secured pretty well. All right, moving inside. Kind of already talked about stuff inside, but just wanted to give you another view inside. Pardon the little bit of a mess I got in here. I actually use this truck. It's not a show truck, so there's going to be stuff. Stock, it did come with the rubber floor mats, which have been a lifesaver, even though they looked a little messed up now, but definitely saves from having to vacuum it 1 billion times. Again, seats are fairly comfortable, pretty easy to clean. The only thing I don't really care for is how terrible of a mess this turns out to be, from your arm being on it, sides of your clothes, but you're gonna have that in anything. So basically you got pretty much everything you'd have in any other truck, as I showed you in the first review of this when I first got it. A few things added on. We have the dash cam, records outside and inside the truck, plus audio. Maybe a lot of videos of me singing while driving. We're not going to talk about that. Another thing I did add in was the brake controller. Not sure if you can see that very well. Brake controller up here for trailer brakes. That did not come stock. Show you the install video here. Got a ton of views on that, so a lot of people have found that helpful. And then we have our switches for the exterior rock lights, then the lights I put on the inside. I didn't do an install video on the inside ones, but it's pretty basic. Other than that, the inside's actually pretty easy to keep clean. Even as a pretty busy guy, I can manage to wipe it down pretty good, keep it clean, so it's pretty durable. Carpet's actually pretty decent material, surprisingly. All right, let's move to the back and we'll show you what we got back there. All right, moving on to the back seat. Pretty basic. Same, I got the big floor mat, goes the entire way. That's pretty awesome to have. Again, saves the carpet quite a bit. Sorry about that wind if you're getting a lot of noise there. Happens out here in the sticks. Back seats, fairly comfortable. Haven't heard any complaints on that. Not much of a reclining on the back backrest. That could be a good improvement. Make it a little more comfortable for people in the back seat, but plenty of space, especially if you have kids, between the two seats. There is a middle seat. I don't think we've used it. If we have, it wasn't for very long. Having these chargers in the back is very handy. You get two USB ports plus a regular plug, cup holder, two cup holders, sorry, double. Now for the only modification I've made in the back, we have the Rockford Fosgate, was it the P310T or T10 or something like that. Sub and amp together, all in the same box. This headrest is just because I have a DVD player for one side, so that's the stock headrest. Then I store the hitch back here, way up underneath. There's quite a bit of space back here as well. A little bit of storage area under here. There's quite a bit of space that you can put stuff under these seats too. We get the other side of this amp sub kit all tidied up there for now. Not sure if I'm going to leave it there, if I'm going to put it on more to one side or the other, so kind of moving it around for a few weeks, see where I like the sound better from. But that's pretty much the back. We also have the rear view dash cam, connects to the dash cam, sorry. That's not the regular truck backup camera, that's on the tailgate. It's just an extra one for those yahoos that decide to drive like boneheads, or ones that like to walk into the side of U-Hauls. See that video here. All right, now we gotta wait for it to get a little dark after our monster truck show tonight. I'll see if I can post a video of that on the other channel. That one is Dan with No Plan. Feel free to go over and check that one out. That's more of our adventures, less of the review and truck stuff and vehicle stuff. Anyways, after that show, I'll get all the lights on and show you guys how amazing these headlights are that I changed over as well. For now, we're going to try to get out of here and see what other fun excitement we can find to do out here in the sticks. All right, as promised, here are the headlights. I'll put a screenshot right here of what they are. And these are just the low beams. As you can see, they reach pretty far to the sides, which I love that, especially with deer and every other stupid critter and animal that likes to go out on the road here. Some of the drivers coming at me don't really like them, but they're not that bright. I mean, they're still driving, right? So we're good. And then we'll throw on the high beams so you can see it's pretty bright. I don't know if you can see the signs way down there, but they're lighting up too. So it reaches pretty far. It's a really nice actual white instead of like yellow. So these headlights were the best upgrade that I did to this truck, safety wise for sure. The stock ones are just junk. I would highly suggest making the investment to change these. Not super expensive, but definitely worth it. Much better visibility, especially a truck which is a little heavier than the car. Makes it harder to stop. You want to see something before you hit it, not after you hit it. I'll see if Editing Dan can put in before and after of the headlights here. Somehow lost the audio here, but here are the Mick Tuning C2 rock lights that I got underneath, and I also put the C1s on the inside. They don't have to flash, they can be solid colors as well. Maintenance wise, really just your normal oil change and all that stuff, which when I bought the truck with the Ford Pass, all that stuff so far has been no charge to me. There's a few recalls, but they were silly things, which they fixed pretty fast. There was an issue with the trailer connection at the back, the harness that plugs in for power and all that. There's something wrong with the actual plug on the truck side. It kept telling me that there's a trailer disconnected when there was never a trailer on there to begin with. So they changed out that plug, and I haven't had the problem since. I believe they also packed it full of dielectric grease, so that helped. Apparently keep moisture out or whatever the problem was. The only other somewhat issue I had is when I first got it, it kept shifting super hard. Like, I felt like I was breaking something, and I thought it was just because it was new and had to get worn in. Well, apparently there's an adaptive shifting of some kind in the truck, and that was never turned on from factory, so it was basically the default shifting, which was junk. So they re-enabled that and reset everything, and the truck learned how I shifted, and then it was good to go, even though it's an automatic. I don't know, some computer stuff, new car technology. That about wraps it up for this one, guys and gals. In all, I love the truck. It's done great, done everything I wanted it to do. It's reliable. Only a year in. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or if I'm going to go with the electric one next year. That'd be kind of cool. But it's getting pretty late, so we'll talk to you next week.